In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Well, hello everyone. If you were watching over on my channel, you would see that we have started working on the cyberdemon, as you can see here. I'll explain a little bit of what I've done so far. We're working on some pinkies. I'll explain what I've done there too, because we're going to finish in there. We kind of put the finishing touches on our whatever the heck you want to call this guy. I think he's a blue demon, which is fine. And we started doing a little bit with the manicabus, lightening up his skin by just throwing a nice little red wash there. We're still working on his outer coat, but that's going to take a while to dry. But we're going to concentrate on some of the guys that we have right here. Jason, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Hello, Mario. Welcome back. Don, hello. And everyone else that's here. It's always good to have you guys here, part of the Dice Tower. Now, can anyone tell me, in January, where's the one place you're going to go to support the Dice Tower? If anybody can answer that, let's see who can answer that first. Let's see. I'm actually going to hold up here for a whole second here until we get it in the comments there. We'll see who knows the answer to this. Who is the smartest person in the room? Hi, Rob. Crystal, how are you? Board Game Theater. Berkey, I'm here. I'm grilling Happy Mouth chicken, and it's only 10 degrees out. Why not watch Rob while I grill? Merry Christmas, my friend. Merry Christmas. Choppy stream. It's not me. I'm not losing any frames whatsoever. That has to be on you, Brandon. Unless everybody else is having Indiegogo. Sam got it right off the whole thing. Well, look at this. All these people are saying Indiegogo. Congratulations, you got it all right. That's right, in January. I hope that you guys all support the Dice Tower so I can keep doing this stuff all year round on both channels, my channel and, of course, none other than the mighty DT. That's right, the Dice Tower. Because we enjoy serving you and giving you all this great content. Just support Tom and the guys, and I'll be a happy guy. How's that? Who knows? Maybe they'll even come up with something for me to do to help them out in the Kickstarter. Okay, with that said, let's talk about where we're at and what we're doing. YouTube. Console Lover 12. There you go. Board Game Essentials. How are you, my friend? Hello, everyone. All right, so anyways, let's talk about what we're doing here. Now, this guy here, he has a green tinge to him. So what I did is I took, because I try to do things that anybody can do this, okay? I'm not going to sit there and go through like 19 or 27 different techniques that I could possibly do when I can probably do something really quick that anybody can do. And that's the whole thing I want to do. I want to do it in a 101 style that you guys can get these painted very quickly and get them down to the board. Because after all, you bought the game to play it, not to sit there and paint it all day. Dan Hughes, how are you? How's little Cora? I hope she's all excited for Santa. Celestial Gray is what we originally painted this guy, okay? Now, if you notice, I didn't paint this arm. I left that white because we're going to be putting some metallics on it. Can't wait for the Dice Tower crowdfunding. I really need another playmat. Well, there you go. That's where you're going to get one. So after we painted him all gray, we then took, excuse my reach, we took a Thethonium camo shade. I can't say that today because my tongue's tied. And then we covered him in that wash so we get this kind of green, and you can see it's all layered in there and everything just the way we really want it, so you can really get that kind of cookie look that he has on this card here. See? And that's what we're kind of going for right now. So now we're going to work some other things. I have to thank Sean Bean and the guys from ID Software. They watched last week and they said, Rob, You were complaining that you didn't have any good pictures of these guys, so let us send you some pictures. So they sent me some wonderful pictures, and I have to say they did a wonderful, wonderful job, and it was just fantastic what they did. Hello, Board Gaming. How are you? And I was just really thrilled that they sent me some pictures, and I got some ideas on how to really kind of simplify this and make this kind of fun for everybody. Now with these guys here, our little pinkies here, we had primed them white, but then, just to catch up, okay, in case you don't want to watch it on my channel, because we do the first hour there and then we do the second hour here. Filleted one flesh, okay? It's kind of a tannish type of thing here, and we put that all over them, and then we took some more of that Carisberg Crimson, and we painted all over these guys, and you can see the effect that we kind of got so far. But that's not all we're going to do to them. You see, just doing this, it really kind of gives a nice effect and makes it nice and easy to work with from here, because now it's just some simple things and we're done with these guys, and that's really cool. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to let him just dry a little bit more, because he still has a little bit of that green shade drying in the recesses, which I'm happy to see, and it's very good. Dalian, how are you? Maycumber, good to see you. Welcome to the channel. So why don't we get to work now? What I'm thinking of doing here, and I'm going to pull up one of the pictures that unfortunately I can't show you the pictures. Actually, I could show you the pictures if you got. Let's see if I can spin this around. That's a cool thing about this new camera that I've got. I can actually do a complete spin around, I think. Yeah, there's the light. Oh, no, not that way. Let's go the other way. And let me just show you some of the pictures that they were nice enough to send me. All right, everybody, how are you? There we go. There's the camera. Oh boy, almost made it. All right, we're gonna do this. How's that? All right, this isn't gonna be good, but you guys are actually seeing yourselves because I'm watching you guys too. So here we go. Let's pull up some of these pictures. So here we go. That's Pinky right there. Let me make sure that you guys can see that. Yes, you can. Excellent. I'm doing great. Okay, it's going forever. Let's not do that. All right, so that's the Pinky. So that's why we painted him that kind of. So I'm new. Why is his arm white? I'll explain that in a minute, Tyson. Just bear with us. If you watched the first show, you kind of would have had an idea why I did that. Question: any chance to get a look at those pictures? Would love to see them for when I'm painting my own figures for Doom. Well, there you go, Gary. That's what I'm doing right now. Look at me. Okay, so. There we go right there. What I did is, like I said, I took that light tan, and then I put the wash. Now we're going to start building some of these areas right here. Okay. So I'm doing all right. I hope you guys can see this okay. All right, so let's take a look at the Cyberdemon. Okay, well, that's his backside. We don't want to look at his backside. All right, the Cyberdemon that we're doing. As you can see, I painted them all gray, but we're going to fill this area in here. I hope you can see this mouse moving. Okay, but as you can see, it's kind of a greenish type of tinge here. So what we're going to do is we're going to work this area here with a palette flesh, and then we're going to take like a, for these areas here, we're going to work with a different color, probably a corn red that we're going to get in there. And we're going to take our time with that. We're going to make it very simple. And here, I think I'm going to, instead of doing this color here, I'm going to go brass with a lead belcher, a very dark brass type of figure to really make him pop out a little bit. So I really, you can see the mouse, fantastic. That's wonderful. So there you go there. Now, the other guy that we were working on, the Manicubus, okay, as you can see right here, that's where we kind of got, let's put him right here. I don't know if you guys can see him, but I kind of, right there, let's turn to the front of him. Okay, there we go. See this area here, that's the effect that we were going by taking the light, that light color, and then putting that red wash over it. Now we get that kind of effect, but we're really going to bring that out by just dry brushing a little bit over. And I'll show you what I mean later on, or probably next episode, because we're going to concentrate on the other guys that we have at hand here. So there you go. I think that's pretty good, and I think you guys pretty much have an idea what we're trying to accomplish here. So let's just zoom right back there, and just like that. Oh, I got to pull up the thing here. Oh. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. I'm still learning this. Oh, the stupid new camera. Come on, back up, back up, back up, back up, up. There we go. Sorry about that. One of the hard things to do when you are actually trying to figure things out here. All right, there we go. And let me just pull this up to make sure that that did not go. Okay, perfect. Hi, that's perfect. Okay, great. Let's get out of there. There we go. And let's start doing what we're doing. Dan Hughes, I recently started painting again after a break of about 20 years. It's amazing how new paints and techniques make things so much easier. No more black lining. There you go. Are you going to paint the lighting effects? I sure am. I'm going to do the best I can, Sean. But again, I just kind of want to make it as simple as I possibly can for everybody, because let's face it. All right, it's nice to watch everybody do all these really hard things, but I want to make sure that this is really tailored to the 101 painter. So that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. I want the person that watches the dice tower to just pick up a brush and give it a try, give it a whirl, see what happens, and go from there. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. Who knows? Maybe you found a new hobby. I guess we'll just have to find out together, won't we? And that's what we try to accomplish here with my Painting with Rob every week. If you want expert stuff, there's painters out there that are 20 times better than I'll ever be. You can go watch those guys. Okay, so let's move this over. I want to make sure that you guys see what I'm doing, so I've got to be careful. Don't want to lose you guys here, so we're going to move that over. We're going to move that over, and here we go. Let's do this, huh? So I'm going to take my little itty bitty brush here. We're going to move this guy. We're going to let him dry a little bit longer. We're going to take a Ushabi bone. Okay, a Ushabi bone. Boy, I don't know why I'm having a problem here. Let's, there we go. All right, that's a little bit better. All right. Hold that up. Okay, great. Okay. Where do you get your... Rob, when did you start painting? Oh, God. When I was a kid. When I was a kid, I sent away from a comic book. I paid $1.98. It was all the money I had in the world. And I sent away for a copy of... you would get a model a month for 6 months, and my dad got me a tester's kit, and that's when I started painting, and I never looked back. All right, so we're going to do all the bone areas now. All right, so we're going to go in here. I want to make sure you guys can see it, and all we're going to do is we are going to take some Ushabi bone and just get all those bone areas and those fingertips. And we're going to put another wash over this guy very, very soon. So we're just going to get these as quickly as possible while that guy dries over there. There we go. And we just want to work from the outside in. Like I always tell you, try not to make any mistakes. But if you make a mistake, that's all right. Because what can you do with a mistake? Mistakes are made to be fixed. Said it 1,000 times before, and I'll say it 1,000 times again. Kind of like I'll keep on telling you that don't forget to support the Dice Tower. My friends need jobs. Sam, Z, think about them. Don't forget Tom. Dice Tower. And also, don't forget to go to Board Game Links Vote those guys before the end of the year if you haven't done so yet. Give them a vote, and let's try to keep them in the top 5. All right. To me, this is the best board gaming community in the world. So why not make them the best? Oh, actually, is there any companies that do something similar to Loot Crate, but for mini painting? Ryan, I missed a spot. What spot did I miss, Ryan? I'm not done painting. You can't miss a spot if you're not done painting. Come on there. Now we got backseat painters. Holy cow. Alright. And if you miss a spot, don't worry about it. Check your thing later and just paint it over again. I'm sure everybody would like to be live painting in front of a bunch of people. It's very exciting. Come on, guys. Stop knocking into my hands. Alright. So, we're trying to get the fingers. And according to this over here, I'm just checking over there. Alright, I'm just checking to see what they got here. He's got a little bit over here that comes out according to those pictures. And we want to come up in here. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, perfect. And of course his nails on his feet. Alright. There we go. And just take your time. That's the most important thing. Just take your time. Nothing's more important than just taking your time, enjoying what you're doing. This is supposed to be relaxing, and you can't get yourself all stressed. You're going to notice that, and I was talking about it on the other channel there, on my channel, when we were doing part, what did I call it? I call it part 2. When we were doing part 2, that all you need to do, and you'll see that all of a sudden it'll just pop out at you. Just keep doing what you're doing and adding the colors, and you all of a sudden it'll just all come together. Now, he's got little spikes here, so we're just going to go up and we're going to hit one of these, all these spikes in a row here. Going to make sure that we're just taking our time to get these, like so. See, this is the easy stuff. He's got an ugly tongue too, so we're gonna have to fix that too. I actually probably should have done this color last, but I did it first. I got all gung-ho. Alright, and all we're going to keep on doing is just painting these little spiky things, because that's really kind of gives them a little bit more depth, and that's really cool, and you want to get as many as you can. There you go. Is there a game of Sorry leaning against the wall back there? Yes it is. Sorry about that. There is a game of Sorry there. There we go, and we're just getting all these little bumps, both sides of them, and just taking our time. Just taking our time here. See how that works? It all works together very nicely. Now he's got some spikies here on his shoulders, so we want to get those too. So you can see where they kind of stick out. And we're just going to take our brush nice and easy, nice and slowly, go over, and you can see how this kind of really starts to bring him out. Starts to give him a little more depth by just touching the top of that very nicely. And let's just bring that a little closer. Hope you guys can see what's going on here. I'm liking it, that's for sure. Pun Master Ron. Thank you. Just do a search. Oh, I'm sorry. Rob Orn. Yep. We do all kinds of things at my silly channel. We play a lot of live games. And as you know, we're doing this today because normally I'd be doing... What do I do on Wednesdays? Well, I do War and Pieces on Wednesday. But War and Pieces is going to get pushed off because we're going to do double duty next week. And we're going to do another Doom painting where we're going to kind of tie everything together finally. Just get all these little spiky things, and they're all over the place on this guy. This is going to be a little time consuming for you. Fortunately, there's only a couple of these guys. So once you get one of them, you're good to go. But we're going to do something with these guys, and we're going to have some fun with this. And we're just going to let this dry a little bit. That's why I'm doing this first. There we go. And just hit it and just go over the top, nice and easy. Because we're going to add some things to this. And come over on this side and kind of do the same thing. There you go. Now the ones over here on the shoulders are really, really important because they really, really are going to bring out some of the best qualities of a... Well, can a monster really have good qualities? I'm sorry if I'm not watching the chat. Just bear with me for a moment. I will answer everybody's questions. I always do. I do my best to do that each and every week. But like I was saying, War and Pieces is going to get pushed off till next week because we have our big Christmas judging tomorrow where they judge our house. And you can see that on my channel as well because hopefully we can win 2 years in a row. We have a secret weapon this year. Guess you'll just have to see the video. And I hope we win. Because it's very important to my wife for some reason. The queen of the known universe. Alright, now we're just doing the teeth. We're not worried about if we get too much there because we're going to put a nice wash on this guy. And that's what's going to bring out those teeth. And so now we're just trying to get that in there. There we go. And we're doing pretty good here. We're making pretty good time with this guy. And that's what it really comes down to, is just taking your time. Let's see, are we losing any packets? No, we're doing very good. Okay, so I'm going to pick my head up for a second. And I apologize to you guys for not answering your questions right away. I missed a spot. Holy cow, I did. That happens. Everybody misses a spot. No one is perfect. Let's look at this guy. I'm going to look at the picture. All right. And this is looking pretty good. I'm kind of happy with it so far. All right, so we're just going to paint that over. And there you go. I mean, that's what we're looking for so far. So far. Doesn't look half bad. Okay, so let's put him down for a second. I'll answer some questions. I'm going to close this up. Let me clean off my brush real quick. And then we'll get caught up with the chat. And then we'll get going here. All right. Let's take a look here. Crystal, you can YouTube it and see what they had, but it wasn't anything crazy. Oh, okay. Nobody's talking to me. That's fine. Rob, just played Orleans for the first time yesterday. Loved it. Have you played it? Did you like it? I'm going to be trying it soon, I believe. Rob. Hi, Rob. Hi, Mike. How are you? Anyone play Star Wars Destiny? No, I have not. Sean, you know what the secret weapon is? Okay, so you guys... Have you tried Marvel Miniatures game at all, Rob? I'm infatuated with it at the moment, especially making the terrain. I'm channeling my inner railway modeler. Yeah, you know, I love making terrain, and I've done quite a few videos on making terrain. Matter of fact, I think I can show you some pieces. Oh, no, they're on the other side. Doggone it. I wish I could. That I was working on, we were doing a desert thing for heavy gear that we're getting ready to play. and I'm very excited about playing that. The Marvel game I'm very fascinated with because it's got my boy Nova in it, so I'm going to look into it. I just discovered Frostgrave, and right now after this game here, we're going to go right into Frostgrave, and I think you're really going to like what we're going to do with that. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm going to do some live plays here on the Dice Tower. My mom used to play Sorry with me all the time when I was a little kid. Fond memories. Pun Master. Okay, I answered all that. I answered that. I answered that. And wow, I'm caught up. Awesome. So, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Okay, so we're going to let that guy dry a little bit. But then we're going to have to do something that you guys are going to have to do on your own, and you're really going to have to be very, very careful when you're doing this. But don't you worry. I will walk you through all the way. I think I'm going to try to experiment with something. That's what I really want to do. Now, if you remember looking at that pinky, he does have some dark purple on him. So what I'm thinking of doing is, instead of trying to dry brush it on, actually try to take and use this Drybrushing violet shade and try to just lightly with a very small brush work it into certain areas. And I think that'd be cool. Dan said, the Frostgrave rulebook is under my tree currently as a present to myself. Good boy, Dan. Dan, I started reading that, and I have to tell you, I'm blown away by that game. I talked to Christian from Osprey Games, and I was trying to get some ideas. He sent me a couple books, which was very nice of him, and a couple of figures. But I'm going to invest a few $100s, and I'm going to go get everything. And I really, really, really think this is a game that is underplayed. Rob, isn't there a video on your channel about shopping for paints and brushes? Yes, there is. As a matter of fact, if you go to board, it's actually on the Dice Tower, and if you go to Painting 101, I have a folder there that there should be 101 Essentials, and that'll show you everything that you need to know. So, let's see. So let's put the good guy that we painted aside here, and let's take this guy a little bit and just experiment a little bit and see how this shade works, and see if we're going to have to take another angle to it. I think we might have to. I hope not. Now, the first thing I want to check is how this shade will look in his mouth, because he does have a very dark tongue. So I'm going to move this out of the way here, and I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit, and I'm going to use a smaller brush here. Not too small. Alright, so something around this angle here, and I'm just going to get some of this on here. And we're going to see how this works. So I'm going to first start in his mouth and kind of just swirl it around a little bit and see if I get any kind of effect from it. I may not. I may have no choice. See, putting this in here, I don't, that's not too bad. I don't know. I think, let me see here. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't think it's dark enough for what I want to do. Alright, so scrap that. That was trying to take a cheap way out, and just isn't going to work. So, you experiment. You try things. You do things. So, we're going to have to go the other route. We're going to have to dry brush it into certain areas, so that's okay. We all make mistakes. Alright, so let's go back. Is this guy dry enough? I think almost he is. And we can start messing with him a little bit. So let's bring him up a little bit. Alright, in his joints there, we've got, I'm going to take it's called Pallid Witch Flesh. Okay? And we're going to try to lighten because I just went over everything with that green, we're going to bring back his face, and then we're going to darken it up. But what we're going to do is we're really going to take a nice small brush here. There we go. We're just going to get in those joints. We're going to save this for last. I know his arm's white and it's probably annoying, but hey, it'll be all right. Let's shake that up. We're just going to kind of, because we're going to go over this area again. All right, so in his face area, so we're looking from here all the way through. Okay. And we'll have to, unfortunately, do his teeth again. Yeah, well, what are you going to do, right? So we're just going to take, and we're going to take this palette witch flesh, and we're going to just work it into his facial area, not getting that upper bone area, and just kind of working that around there. There we go. And it looks like a white, I know, probably on camera, but don't worry, it's not. It's kind of a little more pale, but what we're going to do is we're going to be able to do what we really need to do here. And I just want to make sure that I catch this just right. There we go. I'm sorry if I'm not looking at the camera right now. Alright. And we kind of want to just go over his neckline a little bit, over in here a little bit, and pull that out. Then he's got a little joint here. It's still a little wet. Let me check and see where else. Okay, it was right here. So we're going to come in here a little bit with that white. We're just going to go over the top of it. And we're going to get underneath here. And we're going to work our way into the back here. Just going to go over just enough. Create that. Now let me take a look at the back end of them. Just checking something real quick here. Okay. Because I want to make sure I do this right, as close as I can. And we're just going to come in here. And this is going to be a little time consuming, but this is your big model, so it's going to take a little work. And just a little patience too. Sometimes that's hard to do. Again, we want to get it on the board, but we also want people to go, wow, that's the big boss, huh? All right, I'm ready. Let's take him on. All right, let me just take a look at the back of him. I just want to see something. Okay, yep. Just what I thought. Just what I thought. All right, so again, he's got just a little, just sits in here a bit. I'm trying my best to keep this together here. And there we go. We're going that area there. Take a little bit more here. We're going to work into that scapular area there. There we go. And just work that. Because the spine is exactly as we see it. His buttocks. And we're just going to come over this area as well. This just kind of breaks him up a little bit, which is kind of nice. And we're going to go over this again, so we're going to have to. There we go. And just breaking that up a little bit. Let's see if there's any other areas that we're missing. Got in here a bit. to make sure that I get in here, and here, and there. Also in here. He's got his lower leg here. Rob, when you are finished, could you post pictures on your patron page? Yeah, and I put them on my Instagram. Usually at the end of every episode, I put them on my Instagram. Yes, I have an Instagram. I don't know why, but I do. And then we're just going to kind of go over this area a little bit. Just touch in there just a hair. Because we're going to be selling this guy big time. Excuse me. Alright. I want this to be a little thicker over here. Alright. Because it's a really weird thing how he's shaped. And how he works. Because he's got this green, yet this reddish kind of hue. So we're going to end up putting some of that red wash in there. We're really going to let him dry really good before we really start messing heavily with him again. Alright, so we've got these areas here that we are just kind of just tickling away here with some pallid witch flesh. There we go. And we're probably not going to finish this. What's it? 738? Yeah, we're probably not going to finish this guy today. But we are going to do double duty next week. We're going to probably do about 2 hours on the Dice Tower and 2 hours on my channel. And we are going to really, really get a lot of this done. There we go. And there. I want to make sure that we got all the joints. Oh, there's that there. So please forgive me if I'm at an angle where you guys can't see. There we go. But you'll see where this all will come together. It all just makes sense. And it will just work out perfectly. And then when we add a certain color, that's when he'll just pop and come screaming out at you. Alright, let's clean off that brush. Let's go back to our other guy here. Let's go back to the pinky. Alright, let's bring this picture down. Hey Ricky, how are you? Alright. Let's close that one out. Okay, there we go. So now what do we do? I agree with Larry. It'll be nice to see some close-up photos of the final product. Okay, Dave. Okay, where were we? Okay. So now that we got this guy kind of under control a little bit, what we want to do is I want to take... it's almost like a Gene Stealer purple, I think. Yeah, I think we're going to go with a Gene Stealer purple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a smaller brush. So we're going to take out a paper towel. But we want to be careful, because we don't want to lose too much of what we have here. Okay, this is perfect brush to do this. Actually, I want to use a brush that I'm about to condemn to death. I think that would be you, sir. You've made the grade. Nope. I could tell. I'm very finicky with brushes. Okay, here we go. So we're going to take this cheapo nylon brush, and what we're going to do is we're going to shake up this purple a bit, and we're going to open that up a little bit, just a little bit, and then we're going to get some of this paint on here. Okay, we're going to get it on there pretty good. We're going to get it into that brush. close that up a bit. Get over there, boy. And then we are just going to do what we always do. We're going to take it off. What is your channel called? It's Rob Oren. It's as simple as that. More importantly, you're at the main hub, the mighty dice tower. Alright. We're going to take that off. Here's what we're going to do. Alright. Now the way this guy is we want to be careful because we don't want to hit that bone that we already did. But we are just going to kind of lightly just go over and hit the higher areas. See what I'm doing here? I'm not hitting it hard. Just kind of taking my brush and I'm lightly working it over certain areas so it has that little bit of a purple work into it. Okay? I'm just dry brushing that purple in there a little bit. Just like he is on the thing. He's very kind of dark. I want to be careful. I don't want to lose that pink because he is called a pinky for a reason. But he has that kind of purplish kind of hinge on him. So I'm going to rub that brush in there again and just kind of work that in over the top of certain areas towards certain high points and really just kind of work that purple in there a little bit. There we go. Right into the jawline. Being careful. Being ever so careful not to hit the bone at all. The bone that we worked hard to paint over it. Now, normally you probably would want to do this first. I'm just taking my time. I'm just taking my time and working that purple into those areas. There we go. And that's a pretty good pinky. And that's a pinky that you can play now. He's almost there. We've got one more thing to do with him. Alright. I like that. I like that a lot. I like how that works. Matter of fact, I think... There we go. I think you can see him. There we go. We're going to have to do his eyes too. We'll bring those out in a minute. What time do we got? Oh, we got time. We got time to finish the pinky at least. So let's do that. Well, what do I want to do with his eyes? Well, his eyes are red, but they're almost kind of like a bright orange. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a fire orange and see how that works out. So I'm going to use this for his eyes. I just want to get his eyes in there. And then we're going to put another wash on this guy, believe it or not. So right where his eyes are, we're just going to take our time. We're going to just work that eye in there. One side, on the other side, and then we're going to come back and go over it again with a different color. We're going to go even lighter because we want those eyes to pop out. I don't even like that color on the. I almost want to go over it with a moot green. I think it would look better. I think it would stand out more. You know, sometimes you don't have to go by script. Okay. Alright, so we'll let that dry. But in the meantime, I think what we'll do... And again, like I always tell you, we're doing this so you guys can do this and just simplify it and have fun. You have an Instagram, so us trendy millennials can follow you. Well, there you go. So you can follow an old fart like me. I've got like 4 people that follow me, I think. What is my Instagram? Let's take a look. Matter of fact, I'll take a picture and put it up there momentarily. How's that? while we're talking. I'm just going to let him dry for a second. What am I? I think I'm Seahawk 86. Come on. Come on, Instagram. Oh, it's Robert Oren. Seahawk 86. You can find me on Instagram at Seahawk 86. Okay, so while we're at it, you want to see a close-up picture? Well, there you go. That's what I usually try to do. I try to take a good close picture. So why don't we do that? Okay, buddy. See, we're doing it live on camera too. Well, it's not the best picture. Take a picture of you. I'll take a picture of him too. How about that? There we go, and we'll put it up there. Go Seahawks. Alright, so now this is a Agrath Earthshade, okay? And this is just perfect for going over. And all we want to do is just take and work it onto the bone areas. Alright? It's just a nice wash that really darkens up the bone, the teeth. Gets in there, gives him some kind of, there we go, just like that. Really makes that bone stand out and gives it some depth. So we can put over there, put some over there, over the top, onto the fingers. You know, work it around. If you see it just kind of pulling up, you can work it all the way around. And there you go. And it really sells that bone. Of course, we'll go over that a little bit more too. There we go. So over the top, over the back. Just take and work it in there. You control the wash. Remember that. Don't let the wash control you. And by taking it and putting it down by his feet here. There we go. And in his mouth. Just superb. That's what we're looking for. Just get it right in there. All in there like that. That darkens that pinky right up, right where we want him. Perfect. You get out of the way. You're done. All right. Still got to worry about those eyes. I don't like those eyes. So we're going to let that dry for a minute. Well, at least we'll try to get that done at least. Close that out. I'll put those pictures up a little later. So we got him kind of really where we want him to be. We're not too worried about. I want to get the inside of his mouth though a little bit. I want to bring out his tongue because it's a very dark purple. So I might go with like a Nagboth Night and then go over it with a Gene Stealer purple just to give it a little more depth. The eyes, I think I don't like the fire orange. I think I made a mistake there. So I think I'm going to go with the moot green. I think the green just fits a lot of these things a lot better. There we go. Let's try it again. I think it'd just go a lot better if we go with the green. It'll just stand out better. So I go in there. There we go. Yeah, I like that a lot better. A whole lot better. Much better. Gives it a little more depth there. You can really see it. Gives it another color. Breaks up a few things. You have an Instagram, so oh, okay. Sorry, I just always am looking because I don't want to miss anybody's comments. All right, so we're doing pretty good here, and let's fix that mouth a little bit because that's just haunting me. we're going to take some of this Magaboth Night. It's a little dark, but it'll dry quick. Because we're just going to use just a little bit. Just a little bit. We're going to go in there. We're just going to get that mouth area. We're just going to darken that all up in there. There we go. We want to get his tongue. There we go. Gives it a little more depth. That's exactly what we're looking for. And then we'll follow up with, when that dries, we'll just kind of touch it a little bit with the lighter purple. So it has a little shade to it, which will be nice. So that, that's good enough to get on the board. Okay. There's a lot of other things that we can do with it to really bring it out, but honestly, that's good enough to get on the board, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. All right. So honestly, between this guy being done now, okay, I like the way that came out, and the pinkies we got done. We're almost to the point here where we can finish up and we can fill in some more. We'll probably do that next week, where we'll finish him up. Because what time is it now? 7:52. Yeah, what we'll do is, actually we can do what I think I want to do with him before we get off the air. How's that? Yeah, I want to go with a very dark, I want to go with a brass scorpion. I want to make this all brass, and then I'm going to darken it with a nice dark wash. And then I'm going to do some lead belcher in certain areas, like the gears and stuff like that, so it stands out a little bit. So right now this is going to go on, but it's going to be a little bright, but it'll be set up for us for next week. So why don't we do that real quick? Because I think I would like it more metallic. So it has more mechanical feel to him. So let's do that. I'm just going to paint over all of it because we'll do the fine detail next week. But let's just really get things kind of moving here. There we go. And I'm just going to take this brass and really work this in every area. Even the areas that I'm going to go over with the silver. It's okay because it'll go on nicer, and then when we put that wash on there, boy, you're going to see some nice effects when we get to it. There we go. Put down my visor so I can see what I'm doing here. And I always think copper always goes really, really well with a it's very strong with a green. It really stands out. Right now this guy doesn't look like much, but just stick with me and stick with the next episode, and I guarantee you'll see what I'm going for, because you guys can't see it. I can now. I have vision. Alright. So right now all we're doing is just being very, especially in this area here, I want to be very, very careful. So we don't want to hose up any of the work that we already put in there. Nice and easy. And if you have to, because the arm, I didn't glue it on yet, you can actually pull the arm off and paint it. Which I think I just might do when the paint dries. Alright. There we go. Alright. So we at least got that on there. But we're going to do a lot. We're going to do a lot to that arm. That's just pretty much just a base that we're going to have on there right now. That's all we want to get on there. Next week, the first hour will be mostly spent with him. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. I asked about tacking minis to cardboard above. Can you answer that one for me, please? Sure, Mike. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. I apologize for that. Please forgive me. Yeah, you could do that. For me, I just like holding them. I just feel I have more control over them. I really do. And it's more of a... It depends what works for you. Some people like gluing them to corks or to the tops of their paint bottles. For me, it's just easier to hold on to the mini. I just feel I have more control. And it's whatever you're comfortable with, and that's the most important thing. You got to go with what makes you comfortable. And I think that's where you'll always be successful. Okay, so let's close this out. Let's just take a real quick look and see what we've done this week. We got a lot done. We got these pinkies done. Of course, I've got to finish them up a bit, but you know, this guy's done. We've finished our other demon. We got our cyber demon going. We started working on this guy here, which is the manicubus. So we're all the big guys. We're almost done out of the way. Next week we're going to be going 4 hours, so we're going to be taking care of the soldiers, some of the smaller guys, the imps and stuff like that. We are going to finish up the cyber demon. You'll see how these guys finish off. We'll finish the manicubus. So we're going to get everything all wrapped up into one episode, and I think you guys will really enjoy it and have a great time. Spray painting primer. Yeah, you could just tack them to a piece of cardboard and then just turn the cardboard when you're spraying the primer. That'll help you, Mike. I hope that helps. So that's where we're going to stay for now. This guy, we've got a long way to go with. I think you'll enjoy it. Just stick with me. We'll see everything all come together next week. You'll see some of the other things that, you know, right now they don't look that great, but trust me, it'll all come together really nicely, and we will have a great time doing it. I'm off next week, so I think you'll see this earlier in the morning. So people overseas can watch, which is always nice that, you know, we can get our overseas friend involved. And if you can't be here live, don't worry about it. It's always here. Hey, don't forget, we're only a couple of ways from that Indiegogo, not Kickstarter, Indiegogo. Support the Dice Tower. We love the Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is one of my favorite places to be, and my best friends are all there. And I love them dearly, so please support them and help them out. They've got a lot of nice, cool stuff, and let's just get it done so we have another great year of just fantastic content that they always have. I hope everybody's enjoyed this. I hope everybody has a blessed holiday. Check out my channel tomorrow. You're going to see, probably tomorrow night, see if we win the big neighborhood contest and get that wonderful Red Lobster gift certificate, because that's what we really want. My wife does. There's a long story with it. I won't go into it here. But also, we're going to be doing a lot of games this week. So check us out. Warfighter is going to be going on. We're going to be doing all kinds of board games. We have a 12-hour marathon going on New Year's Eve. We're going to start at 12 and end at 12. So if you'd like to check that out, we'll be there. I'm doing my top 10s next week here on the Mighty Dice Tower. Top 10 miniature games, top 10 war games, and I'm doing it live. Live! Yes, live. I think it'll be a lot more fun where I can get your interactions, and I think that's what's really cool. So you can cheer on what I pick, or you can boo it. Either way, it'll be a lot of fun, and you'll be involved. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And as always, thank you so much for letting me be a part of your lives and you guys being here with me. It means a lot to me. Have the best of holidays if I don't see you, and we'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching.